It cost me $16,000 to get into medical school. Here's why. This video is only going to be covering what it costs after college to get into medical school. So only the costs you're going to be spending to get into medical school. No college stuff. Quick refresher, pre-med students apply to medical school to be a doctor sometime during their junior or senior year of college, or sometime after college. And this is the time where all these costs are going to add up. We're going to be talking about why I spent $16,000 and how I spent it, and doing a cost breakdown. And then once we're done with that, we're going to show you just how much it's going to cost for you, which is probably going to be much less. So let's get into it. Starting with the first thing, the MCAT. To get into med school, you have to take the MCAT. It's a requirement. And it is not as simple as it sounds, because you have to make many purchases in getting ready for the MCAT and taking the MCAT. First, you have to start studying for the MCAT, and you need your review books for that for your content review. If you want to use something like Kaplan, that's $300. Then sometime during or after your content review, recommended to do this during, would be the practice questions. So take, for example, a UWorld QBank for a 6-month subscription is what I would recommend. Nowadays, that's $389. And then once you're done with those practice materials, you want to look at the AAMC practice materials, because those are the people who actually give the test. That's going to run you $324. Bruh. So now you are studied up for the MCAT and you're ready to take it. How much does it cost to take the MCAT? Right now, as of last night when I checked it, $355 just to schedule the thing. And if you're not ready for the MCAT for some reason and need to delay it, it costs up to $100 plus to reschedule the exam. But assuming you get on your first try, it's just $355. And now we get into the nasty part of the fees. When applying to med school, you use the AMCAS. The AMCAS charges you for every school that you apply to. Most pre-meds don't apply to just a couple schools. Nowadays, I would say 25 schools would be the recommended amount. And guess what? That costs money. AMCAS charges you $175 for the first school and then $46 for each additional school. As of making this video, it's now $47 for each additional school. It was $46 for when I was applying. So what did that look like for me? Well, I didn't get into medical school on my first try. I had to apply twice. And because of applying twice, I had to spend way more money than you needed to. So let's add up the application fees for me, starting with my first cycle. So again, the first school is $175, and then every school after that is $46. So looking at the numbers here, I applied to 29 medical schools total, didn't get into any of them, and AMCAS took $1,555 away from me. And then on my second cycle, which I did get in, I thankfully got 4 acceptances this time. Again, $175 for the first school, $46 for each additional one. Second cycle is 43 schools. That adds up to $2,199. And we're just getting started, because that's just the AMCAS fees, what's so-called the primary application fees. Now we get onto the secondary application fees, which are fees charged by each school, and on average they run around, I would say, $100 on average. So not only do you have to give the primary fee for each school, you also have to give a secondary fee for each school, which is even more than the primary. What? Again, I took 2 medical school application cycles to get accepted, and as a result, I got charged twice. So starting with the first cycle, it says right here, again, every secondary is on average $100. First cycle, I applied to 29 schools, and a grand total in secondary fees, $2,985. So $2,985 just to get rejected everywhere, basically. And then my second cycle, which I did get in, I said I want to get this over with. I'm going to add more schools. And on my second cycle, I added 43 schools in total. And I ended up spending $6,439 in secondary fees for my second cycle, which I was fortunate enough to get in that time. So adding those up together was basically $10,000 just for the medical schools to get my secondary, and look at me. So based on what I was making at the time, that was like a third of my annual pay, making like barely anything, working like crazy hours, and just suffering the whole time to get a third of my paycheck taken. Pretty much annually. Yeah, very great. Up until now, for me, how much did it cost me to get into medical school? $14,446 so far, but we're not done. I did not mention earlier I had a really hard time taking the MCAT, which caused me to delay the exam a couple times. I had things like life problems going on at the time. I had a really bad sleep disorder I wanted to get handled before I started medical school. So because of that, I pushed back the exam a couple times. And in pushing it back, you had to also renew the UWorld and the AAMC materials because they expired. So ballpark estimate about all those like fees and rescheduling and renewing stuff probably ran me around like $1,600. Feels terrible. It feels like I completely wasted it, but now that I'm past it, it is what it is. I did what I had to do. So if those fees were not enough, this is Kyle from the future having to come back because past Kyle uploaded his video and forgot about these extra fees. As if all the money spent up to this point was not enough, some medical schools require you to do either Casper or Preview, which are sham situational judgment tests that ask you weird ethical questions and how you would respond. The stated purpose of these exams is giving the medical schools an additional tool in assessing your candidacy. Casper, aka Computer-Based Assessment for Sampling Personal Characteristics, is a text and video-based situational judgment test, and it's not supported by any evidence. It's a big scam, mostly because the scores are not reliable. There's so many people who take the exam for like different programs, and they have to take the exam on different days, and they can score 4th quartile on one day, take it the next day and get 2nd quartile. It's just a big ripoff. People grading your exam get paid 65 cents per response that they grade. Here's a LinkedIn screenshot showing a job listing for a Casper grader.
You serious?
So what I and other people online believe is that Casper is a scam exam to funnel money to a scam company. And how much does a scam exam that medical schools are requiring cost? It costs $85 to take the exam, and that gives you 7 schools for free. And if you want to add Casper exam to more than 7 schools, it is $18 for each additional school. And if Casper wasn't enough, you might have to take AAMC Preview as well, because I had to. AAMC Preview is similar and it's just text-based compared to Casper, which was text and video-based. In Preview, it shows you a paragraph of an ethical scenario, and you have to click a response from very ineffective to very effective. And AAMC decided to pick like weird definitions for like what ineffective versus very ineffective means. Like ineffective does not just mean ineffective. It also means that a response will not improve a situation or may cause a problem. Like what? It's not just ineffective, it's what the AAMC wants ineffective to mean. So anyway, you have to sit there for like an hour while a proctor like watches your entire computer. It feels very invasive. They have access to your microphone. You have to get a webcam and then show your entire room. Sometimes the proctor will force you to have a mirror behind you to make sure you're not cheating. It's very strange. But anyway, Preview is a $100 flat fee. As of now, it's actually a $105 fee. AAMC Preview and Casper have continuously increased in price over time. We love a cash grab. And thankfully, unlike Casper, not very many medical schools are using Preview. If you're applying this cycle, I would say you pretty much have to take Casper. Preview, you might have to take it. There's only a handful of schools that require Preview. Yeah, 2 more BS tests to take more of your money. So, grand total. How much did it cost me to get into medical school?
Thank you, 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 thank you. Bruh.
But this is just me. Let's go over it really quickly if you're a first cycle applicant who's getting in on their first try. Assuming you're a first cycle success, you have everything on lock, you never postpone the MCAT, you just have everything dialed in and you get in on your first try. How much does it cost? Let's assume your school list is 25 schools. Let's do the MCAT review books, UWorld QBank, AAMC practice materials, MCAT scheduling fee, and let's throw in 25 schools. Adding them all together, I came to $5,361. If you get in on the first try, no hitches, no nothing, just one and done, simple, everything works out for you. So you might be wondering, Kyle, how did you finance all of this? Credit cards. I was working terrible jobs at the time, like clinical jobs as a CNA, as a medical scribe. I went back to Starbucks as a barista because of the health insurance, the dental insurance, the other benefits as well, and you made more than the clinical jobs. I was basically working these jobs getting nothing. So I took out multiple credit cards and took advantage of that juicy 0% APR. And I'm happy to announce that I'm so close to paying off all the medical school application fees that I just shoved onto my 0% APR credit cards. I am so close to paying off the debt from the fees that have been sitting on my cards for almost 3 years now. So that pretty much sums up this video. Recommendations for you guys: don't make the same mistakes I did. You don't need to be spending $16,000 to get into medical school. Don't push the MCAT back all these freaking times. Don't be poor. Be lucky. Get in on your first try. And yeah, you're still going to spend a lot of money.